to Call of the Pen. I am your co-host, Brandon Kinsler. It is my co-host, Steve Cishek. Steve, how was your week?
Good. A lot of golf. My week just busted open, so I had nothing to do. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play some golf this week before I head up to Cape Cod. We got a couple tournaments up in the Cape, so try to clean up the game a little bit. Might have went backwards slightly, but you know, played some hard courses.
You're chipping again?
My chipping's always terrible. No, actually, when I practice chipping a ton, my swing goes like sideways. I don't get it. So then I get on the range and I start swinging like crazy. I get that back, but then I can't chip. So it's just I'm a mess.
Just be an athlete, man. Just hit the dang ball.
I'm sitting at between a 5 and a 6 right now. I was a 5. I just went up to like a 5.2. So hanging in there.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that kind of good.
I'm getting there, man. Getting there.
You must have gotten better than the last time I played with you.
Definitely gotten better since the last time we played. I don't duff 80-yard shots anymore and slap it, blade it into boulders and stuff.
Until if I ever play with you and you do it again, then because I'll make you nervous. Anyways, two things I want to touch on before we start talking into baseball is like, it's just something I've seen being around a different sport and even being around younger kids is being consistent through the process of just your sport, whatever you're training, mental training. And it's just like, I don't know, it just bothers me to see people be half in on, but then be frustrated with the results. Like you're not fully in on committed to whether diet, mental training, your physical training. Like part of the challenge is just showing up to the training. Don't you think?
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, you could give a half-hearted effort training, but if you consistently show up and you don't miss, that's going to be better than showing up sporadically and killing it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's even, let's say like, there's a few people that I deal with. One kid showed up meant for the physical training, but he has some mental issues. I give the parent a number to Tewksbury. Like, hey, this guy's really good with the mental side. I think you should, if you really thinks he has a mental side of like main events, the kid gets nervous or whatever, maybe this guy can help the process. And they were just too busy to ever make that phone call. But then you're frustrated with the results.
You can't talk to him? They don't want to talk to you? I feel like you can help them out with the mental game. You've been through everything.
I do. And I think this kid might be better if he talks to someone that's doesn't like at a race, no one can say anything to him. He has a guy that he just talks to, and then that's it. Apparently I'm too strong on people.
You're too rough. Like, we want someone that speaks easier. Okay, you get little like 2 types of people in this world, kids. What are they? Do you remember?
Oh, I know. I loved your saying, but now I can't even think of it.
It wasn't my saying, but killers and petting zoos. That's what
killers
would tell us.
Killers and petting zoos.
Today?
There's a lot of petting zoos.
There is. Sorry, my thing's messed up. Yeah, a lot of petting zoos these days. But I think you can train the petting zoo out of somebody.
I mean, it's like, do they got it, or does it get to the point where it's like he just doesn't have it?
I think if you, what it is a lack of confidence or insecurity, right? And if you, like you said, let's 100%. Go with the weight room route. If you have a kid who's has potential but struggles, but they know they have potential, they just haven't got over the hump because they don't push themselves in the process like they should, then that's a problem. If they're able to recognize that, push themselves in the process, realize how much work they actually put in, and that work can help them through this, that you can kind of rely on that work, I think that can start to get them over the top. At the end of the day, you need to have something to fall back on. For me, it was my faith. For some guys, it's, I don't know, their family or some sort of like a Michael Jordan thing where they got a chip on their sholdder. You just need to find out. Yeah. So, I mean, I got a simple thing. It's not profound by any means, but I've been thinking through. I share with young kids. It's if you put it's kind of like a cyclical grid where I always say, all right, in this big arrow right here, so it's going to go around a circle, is your process, right? This little small area is your performance, smaller arrow is let me say what you learned from it. For the professional athlete, that's what we dwell on the whole. That is our process. Is we everything in between the performance and is learning, and then actually the doing part to prepare for it. That's the
Right.
big things of preparation. That could be mentally, that could be in the weight room, an entire off season, and then during the season, it's game to game. How am I going to prepare game to game? What's my routine? Boom. Now all I got to do is go out there and perform. Boom. How'd it go? Good, bad? What do I learn from it? Put that into the preparation slot, build off that. Boom. It just keeps going around and around. And if you can be consistent with that, I feel like you can get over the hump.
Right. And what I'm saying is, okay, let's just say you're least talented than most of the people around you. Don't you think, like, if you don't put in 10 times more work than everyone on a consistent basis as far as nutrition, training, mental side, then what are we doing? Why are you here?
Yep.
And that's what's driving me crazy.
No, and I think it helps to surround who you surround yourself with, right? So again, for me, I was like, when I got drafted, dude, I was lost. I was like a lost little puppy dog. I mean, I just knew how to throw a fastball. Literally, that's it. And then as I'm struggling, I'm watching one of my buddies who's 5'8" or 5'9", throwing 90 with a pretty good curveball, but just the most stock right-handed pitcher, just dust guys in and day out. And finally, I was like, I'm hanging out with that guy. Like, I want to see what makes him tick. And I learned so much from a guy like that helped me out in my career than anything.
Yes, it's just it's just frustrating to see, because I like to help everybody. I want to see everyone succeed, but it's like you can only take them to the water. You can't force them to drink the water.
Right.
But the one kid I got, the kid that won the world championship, this kid did everything. He shows up for training consistently, but then his weak side was mental. We had worked on, but you know what he did? I gave him 2 books. I gave him Goggins, and I actually gave him Tewksbury's book. He read both of them. Kid wins the world championship. Like, he got over the mental hump. Like, that's buying into the process. Does it suck to read? Yeah, sometimes it sucks to read, but you have a weakness. Fix it.
Mm-hmm. So, what's that phrase? Embrace the suck? Isn't that like a Marines or something like that? Some Army slogan?
What did Joe Madden have? Remember that shirt?
Or did he say
that shirt? That
try not to suck today.
Try not to suck. Oh, your daddy.
But
anyways, so we'll go on. He had some good one-liners. If you're listening to this and we hit home with that, then we're talking to you. Like, buy into the process. Be more consistent with what you're doing. If you're frustrated with the results, look at yourself in the mirror, and if you're really not all in, then go all in. Just give yourself a chance. Otherwise, just get out. Stop wasting time.
Yeah. I actually heard one of my former teammates, he was a massive prospect, and he literally said the same exact thing. And he does these little walks and records himself talking and stuff like that. He's like, I knew when I was done when I couldn't go all in on something. He's like, I gotta switch careers, because I can't give it my all. So yeah.
So all right, we'll switch to the baseball side. Phillies on the road struggling against Giants are hot, but struggle against the Rockies. And I always feel like they struggle against the Rockies in Colorado. And then now they're struggling they got their butt kicked against the Giants. But now, how about the Acuna injury? I think that moves the Phillies way up, or do the Braves rally around that again like they did a couple years ago?
I mean, I think I think we're in a different situation, because I think the Phillies are just that much better now. But that's not to say the Braves aren't going to make the playoffs. What's going to be interesting to me is because the Braves have won it the last 2 years. The Phillies would have to play in the wild card in the playoffs, right? But they come out hot coming out of that wild card spot. So now the Braves are going to be the ones coming out of that wild card spot potentially. I'm curious to see if the tables turn on them on Philly. I mean, down the road. Yep.
But Philly does get to play at home, which is always tough. But I think if the Braves are coming off that wild card, let's say they make it out of the wild card, that chip's going to be huge. That they're gonna. These guys are looking for serious payback, and now they're going to have Chris Sale. I'll take Chris Sale all day in a massive game.
Oh, yeah. That's what's going to keep them afloat, right, is their pitching now, which we wouldn't have really said that the last 4 years. Their offense was just so good. But no, they're human now. They're kind of struggling. If anyone that's keeping them afloat, it's Ozuna, which, he's not spring chicken anymore, which has kind of been surprising.
Yeah, they're still rolling around there, and their hitting is not very good. But Fried almost threw a no-hitter. If they get Fried and Sale going, And then what was that kid they got from the White Sox? The righty throws a million.
like everyone else. I don't know,
He's
but
having a great year.
and he had a rough game. He had a rough game, but Charlie Morton yesterday. But Charlie Morton was having a nice little season too that no one was talking about.
He's no
who are
spring
you
chicken
talking
either,
about? Right, but he just knows how to get it done, man.
The right-handed starter was with the White Sox, then he went to the Angels for a
Oh,
second.
Ronaldo
and then-
Lopez.
yeah, Ronaldo Lopez. He's having a great year. They got something going with him.
They got 3 former White Sox guys. They got him, Aaron Bummer, and who else did I see was on that team? Oh no, I was thinking of Raisel Iglesias. I played with him in Angels. Never mind.
Yeah. And then what the Phillies are doing all this without Trey Turner, who had a setback in his injury. Let's switch. The East, the Yankees. The Yankees they're so good. I hate to admit it. I just don't like the Yankees, but they're good.
They are so good. Well, because they
have
got
a 1.5 game lead.
stout
Baltimore's won 5 in a row, though. So here comes Baltimore again. Like this is going to come down to the end because Baltimore's so consistent. Their pitching's so good. They got so much depth, top to bottom. The only thing that might hurt them in the end is Craig. I hate to say it. But...
Don't say that. Oh man. I mean, yeah, they're really good. Plus, they're going to go. They got to go get another arm. When the deadline comes, so they're going to be that much better.
Who, the Yankees or the Orioles?
Question. I mean, the Yankees, dude, are still 7-3 their last 10.
I know. They're just consistent, and they've only scored 3 more runs than the Orioles, and have allowed 20 more, or 20 less than the Orioles.
Less. Well, their staff is killing it right now. They're on fire. Best bullpen in the league. Top 3 starting rotation in the league right now, probably. I mean, that Gill dude is unbelievable. He got called up. I was hoping Petit would get the call back up because he dominated the Indians, who have a really good lineup, and they, Gill took the nod instead, which kind of looked like it's paying off. And yeah,
it's like, oh, thanks for your innings. You can then go back down and stay down there for a while.
Tough bid, 7 innings, gets the dub against the first place Cleveland Indians. They smell you. Go back to the salt mine.
Oh, did you see benches clear? I guess you can call it a benches clear. Boston and Milwaukee, Milwaukee.
No, I don't think I did.
The reliever, forgot his name, big dude, but he was coming. He was covered first. He was walking off, and he yelled something. I don't know if he would have yelled it too, but he just yelled something. And then the first base coach gets into it with him, like, "You're the first base coach." Like, his name's Quentin Berry or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, but you're just coach and say back. Like, just stand there. Don't try to get involved with the guys that are playing. And then, he got like crazy. The Quentin Berry got crazy. He's yelling everywhere. They're holding him back. Like, terrible look. And then they lost the game. So that's what you get.
I don't know. Are you that coach? Like, yeah, he's got my back. I love Coach Quentin. Or you just like, chill out, man.
I think maybe it depends what was said, but
yeah.
Unless he says, Yelich, you suck. Yelich grounded out. Unless he starts yelling something at Yelich, and then Quentin Berry's just trying to stand up for him, but let Yelich stand up for himself. Anyways.
Yelich ain't going to say nothing.
No. Cleveland, man, thing is, my Royals, my call is still good. I still like them. 2.5 back of Cleveland. 34-21. The sportsbook had the over-under on Royals at 72. I wish I was a betting man on that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Is it? I mean, maybe it's just the manager, or they just know how to pitch. They just play well. I don't know. They're just consistent.
That division is just shocking to me. If we were like, they're going to be the worst, and they're actually kind of decent, man. Like 1 through 4 is just like okay. Obviously, Cleveland's good, but Kansas City looks really good. You're on to something there. Minnesota looked really good for a minute. They won 10 or 11 straight, and then they kind of lost it again. The summer sausage went sour. Well, Detroit's had
it's because they tell their closer he can't throw his fastball; he has to throw curveballs. That's why.
That's stupid. Hopefully, they learn their lesson with that.
Cleveland has this. I'm trying to find the name. They got this reliever where he had his first career save the other day, and he was ridiculous. I'm trying to find his name. Oh, here
I don't know.
Hold on. Cade Smith. This guy is 6'5", 230. He hands you 98 miles an hour. And with a good breaking ball. I
wonder what his extension is.
I don't know, but he just It's like a nice little slide step. And he was not. I watched him against his first career save. This guy was not messing around. It was blowing fastballs. I liked it. I
Wow.
like that guy. And add a guy like that with that kind of bullpen with Clase at the end. Clase's got a .3 ERA. This guy's like, last year he wasn't even that great, but then and he turns it on again. 100
I feel
mile
like
an
I've
hour
seen this
cutter.
kid pitch, Cade Smith. Look at this route he took. Drafted in 17, 16th round out of Hawaii, but he's from Vancouver. Talk about
Wow,
bouncing
Canadian.
around. Yeah, Canadian who went to Hawaii. Good for him.
That's crazy. He is a beast. I like
That's
him.
cool.
Remember that name. Remember I said that on here. My eyes are good on pitching.
It's really, really hard to tall 6'5" righty who throws 98 with carry. You said like, okay.
Well, there's a million of them in AAA and AA right now. But who's got the nuts? Is what this guy's got nuts. That's why he's there.
All right.
All right, you don't agree. Oh, and your Tigers. Tigers are terrible.
No, you just cut out. So I was just saying, yep, whatever you say.
Oh,
The Tigers.
so the guys got
Hey,
nuts.
they won 3 in a row. The Vierling guy had 2 homers in a game, had a walk-off.
They did with 3 in a
All right.
row. They still got
They
Javi
have
Baez
2
playing
really good
shortstop.
pitchers. I know. Don't hate on Javi. He was a good teammate.
Was he?
I don't know. Oh, Javi? Yeah, he's great. Him and Strope were the classic. I hated them when I played against them. Like, couldn't stand them.
Yeah.
And then
You're right.
you go and hang out with Strope for 9 innings. It's like, this guy's the man. Like, what was, you know what I mean? It's a classic. Absolute classic.
They had Strope at Wrigley last week or the week before. Him and Dexter Fowler were there throwing out first pitch.
Yeah.
So, and then Stropey looks all buffed out, hat sideways, million chains on.
He's huge, like jacked. He is big reggaeton music video guy now.
Is he?
He's got a few music videos out there now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He bounced the ball. He bounced at the home plate though. I'm like, man, I would hate to throw a first pitch.
You know what's surprising? Okay, we're moving. We just covered the Central, but the most frustrating team I feel like in the big leagues is the Toronto Blue Jays. I just don't understand.
That Romano guy
That
gave
guy's
it up.
gonna get fired.
I mean, I don't get it either.
Let Donnie Baseball be the manager and watch them take off.
Seriously, you like Donnie Baseball, huh?
I love Donnie Baseball. That guy was standing when I'm throwing touch and feels, and I'm like, and he's giving me instant feedback. I'm like, oh man, what if I drill him? Or is he like thinking, or is the manager standing in the box watching your touch and feels like, oh, I totally crushed that.
So my first spring with the Cubs, Brandon Hyde did that, and he had like a messed up ankle, like very bad sprain, and he stood in for like bump plays. I'm like, Hyder, I wouldn't stand there. It's like, no, throw it in there. And I about took him out. Like messed his ankle up even more, dropped him. It's like, I tried telling you, I don't like people stand.
Like, I couldn't feel my arm on bump plays when a coach stood in there. I just like, all of a sudden you're not connected to your arm.
Yep. Hey, welcome to my world throwing the bases.
I know Yadier Molina knew you couldn't.
I know, he got me good. I was so mad. That was one time I got mad at you. I think it was the only time I ever got mad at you.
For making fun of you for Yadier Molina still in third on you?
I was so like amped up that game too, and like he did that, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's embarrassing. And then the first person I see is you, and you're just like, hey. Showing my throwing motion, my blood was boiling. I couldn't contain it anymore.
Well,
I had a secret forgiveness.
Because you had to do PFPs in left field the next day. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever.
Oh no! I'm sorry. You guys had to get better that day. Talk about being consistent in your play. Oh, I don't want to show up to practice. At that time
in my career, I had no career errors ever. I had one by the time I was done playing. I'll never forget it. But
you shouldn't have come out there. You're so good at PFPs. You just told me you had a rag arm when you had to throw the ball in bump plays.
I was trying to be a good teammate. Anyways, so the Blue Jays beat the White Sox. Let's look at Tommy Pham, who just signed, by the way, with the White Sox, is hit 800 OPS. He's hitting 300. Why didn't that guy have a job? He must be that's just weird. Anyways, so
he's so good.
I know he's a good hitter. So Bichette's hitting 247 with a 660 OPS. I guess Springer's hitting 196 with a 570 OPS. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I guess it's the bottom of their lineup that's just killing them.
I looked at this like a week or two ago.
270 though. Biggio's hitting 212. Is it their bullpen?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look it up. What's their bullpen ranks?
No, hold on. Time out. Biggio's hitting 212. Vladdy at the time wasn't hitting great. Now he's hitting well now. Last time I looked, Kiner Falefa 270, but hit with no pop. I mean, they don't have a solid offensive team. I mean,
I guess not consistent. They gave Justin Turner a lot of money. He's hitting 220. He's not even starting every day.
All right, what do you want to see? Bullpen ranks?
They got Vogelbach. I mean, Vogelbach is hitting $167. Vogelbach is not a good hitter. Vogelbach is someone that you just got to run into a ball somehow. It's like they just thought they were just going to try to slug with everybody. Yeah. I mean, Danny Jansen, who is having a career year, is hitting 297 with a 946 OPS. This guy couldn't hit a softball 2 years ago. And now he's hitting. Now he's their best hitter. He's their best hitter. Danny Jansen's their best hitter. That is wild.
Well, Vladdy is now.
No, well, they hit the same average, but Jansen's got 150 points higher OPS.
Oh, dang, you're right. How about that?
That's wild. That's just crazy. What is their bullpen ranks? Look that up.
I'm trying to. It's not going to be good. I'll tell you that.
They keep putting Cabrera in big spots, and he just walks too many guys. I watched him walk some bases. He's got 19 innings, 11 punch outs. How many walks? 12 walks in 19 innings. That's terrible. That's in the big leagues. How are you in the big leagues with that? And you don't even strike out a guy per inning. You got a 1.8 whip. So this is what's frustrating me with the big leagues now is we got guys with 1.7, 1.8 whips who walk a bunch of guys in high leverage.
Yeah.
Or why are you even in the big leagues? Are you that? What? Let's just go play catch, Steve.
There's a reason why I retired, Brandon.
You're not going to walk that many guys. Well, you might, but I won't.
Yeah, I had a high walk rate, especially later in my career.
Yeah, because
no, I couldn't feel the ball in my hand. Oh, come on, give me some credit.
I'll give you credit for your double fist pump.
Thank you. That was the last good inning I had.
Okay, what's their bullpen ERA?
The 4.33. They're towards the bottom.
Yeah, that's not good. Their closer Romano's got a 6.3 ERA, so that's a problem too. Their best reliever is Yimmy.
Yimmy's been solid. Dang, I didn't know Romano was struggling like that. There it is.
Must be a contract year for Yimmy. That's why.
Hold on, let's go back to Romano real quick. That Swanson guy's pretty good, but I saw him getting hit around the other day too.
Swanson's got an 8.7 ERA. Yimmy's got a 1.3, and then so this is their.
Mesa's got a high ERA. Mesa was good. He's been good historically.
Yeah. So I mean, and they have good starters that go deep. So it blows my mind. Romano, 6.3 ERA. This is why the Blue Jays are not good.
Well, hold on a second though. It's not like I don't think it's costing them a ton. He's 7 for 8 in save opportunities. He blew his first one the other night, and it was a bad one. Like,
okay, so let's say how many he's got 2 losses. So maybe there isn't a lot of extra. I don't know.
Extra innings, tie, ball game. I don't know. Let's look at the game log. Why were you so focused on this guy right now?
These are closer. I don't know.
Yeah. Where's the last one? Detroit. Detroit got him for 3 runs. That's gonna hurt.
2 hits, 1 walk.
Toronto. Oh no, I'm sorry. Baltimore got him for 2 in 2 innings. They threw him out there for 2 innings. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The next day. So I'm sorry. 2 days. So Baltimore he pitched against Baltimore. I think it was game 1 of the series. 2 innings, did well, right? He had a day off, and then tried to pitch on May 15th. 2 days later, and they got to him. He didn't record an out. Gave up a bomb.
Oh yeah,
that hurts too. But what's his whip? That's a good Churchill sign. He's got a high whip. That's not good. So he's probably walking a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He's got 15 hits in 12 innings. That's where it is with 4 walks.
Oh, okay.
So it's hit. He's getting hit. Anyways, you ever notice? Like I was watching. So this Leiter. So we'll move to the Central. Leiter, but the guy's good. But every time they bring him in like a really good high leverage, it's like walks, and he's like all of a sudden not good. It's like there's so many guys that are just really good relievers, but they're just not high leverage. Like they're just different in high leverage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Leiter guy is one of those guys. Like yesterday in that game, they started the inning, and he just is so many walks, and then they took him out, and then they bring the other guy in, Homer.
Yep.
It's like bad counts. Let's see, Leiter Jr.'s got a 3.4 ERA. I wish I knew how many holds does he have? Can you look that up?
Leiter?
Yeah.
Sorry,
let's see. He has 8 walks in 21 innings. His last 21 innings, which is kind of a lot, but his last 7 he only has 14 punch outs. He's just getting hit. I just wonder I wish I could look up high leverage ERA. Where's that? Is that in splits?
There's an acronym for it, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm still stuck on the Blue Jays right now.
When it's late and it's close, he's got 10 innings with 10 hits. Doesn't say his ERA though. On the league's hitting 244 off of him in late and close innings. It's not terrible, but it's not dominant for what he's been doing. If you go look at any other innings, 7th inning, leave that guy in the 7th inning, they're hitting 053 off of him.
Wow, where are you finding all that? Are you on Fangraphs?
Splits on the MLB app. I don't know.
Oh.
6th inning. Yeah, the 6th and 7th inning, they're hit 154, 053. You put them in the 8th inning, they're hitting 300. You put them in the 9th inning, they're hitting 400.
Wow. You know what it is too? I wonder if it's like if they're doing the matchup stuff with him, where like he's facing like the bottom half of the order on those 7th inning ones or something like that. But then when push goes to shove and it's the 9th inning and he's actually facing the top of the lineup, it's like they're getting him because they're better hitters.
Yes, I think it's more the 8th inning because he only has one. He only pitched the 9th once, so it's the 8th inning where he has issues. It's the guy to get it to Hector. 9 innings, 13 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 walks, in 9 innings. That is not good. And 13 punt. Yeah, they're hitting 302 off him and 182 whip. He's just not like, it's like the closer it gets to the end, he's just not that guy. Leave him in the 6th.
Yeah.
But, the analytics won't say that, but my eyes are telling me that, and the numbers say that.
Let me ask you. I don't mean to switch gears, but I'm just curious your thoughts. Kyle Hendricks.
Oh, I was gonna text him too to have him on here, but is it too soon?
Yes,
he's such a free-spirited guy, though.
I know, but let the guy chill for a second.
Kyle Hendricks had said it. The guy has done so much for that city and organization, and such a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
But he had those he had a massive shoulder problem.
Yeah.
And who knows if the arms, it just something's different now, and it just doesn't work, and it's just like it's kind of
34 now. It's not like he's pumping 96. Like he relies literally on like specific mechanics, and he just relies on just straight command. And even the smallest mechanics tweaks. I remember when he was struggling with us, they'd have him on the Kinetrax, and he's studying that with relentlessly. And next thing you know, he just goes on one. Like cleans up something he saw that was the issue. Bam, and he's just dotting everything. It's like, wow. So like I was expecting him to come up out of this because he'll go through a few where he's not great, and then he just dominates, and it just never came.
Yeah, he doesn't have me there to help him anymore either. So
oh boy, Hottovy was his guy for that stuff too. It's just,
and Tommy's great at that. I'm sure Tommy's frustrated because they have a great relationship. I mean it's sad to see. It really is. It's sad to see, but I think the end always comes and gets us at some point, especially after a massive shoulder surgery. It's so hard to get that range of motion and just that feel back, especially after the shoulder.
One thing I never knew about Kyle, because I felt like he always chewed up innings too, is he's never cracked 200 innings in a season.
Hendricks?
199 in 2018 as the most. One more, dude. He said one more. What if he goes in there? He's in the bullpen now. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's in the bullpen. But he said he had a great attitude. He's like excited to be with the boys, learn the routine. But
I saw that. Yeah,
he's not going to be able to get loose fast. It's just not going to. And then they try to bring him in, and as that first outing the other day, he gives up like 3.
Did he?
And I didn't see it. That's just the worst feeling. You're just like, oh, let me go to the bullpen, figure this out, and you give up 3.
Yeah.
Now you don't know when you're ever going to pitch again.
I was like, what if they used him as a closer, like a Keith Folk, the guy through like upper 80s, just
How sick
dotted.
would that be?
Yeah, with a
Try him in the
nasty
eighth
changeup.
inning. They got eighth inning problems. Try him in the eighth.
There you go. Anyways,
They don't have it. The Cubs have been slipping. I mean, where are they at now? 4.5 back. They've lost 5 in a row.
and it's their
I
bullpen,
mean,
dude. It's their
it's a
bullpen.
bullpen they're hitting. You look at Bellinger. Bellinger's hitting like a buck something with 1 homer. Let's see. I love that they
250.
beat the Cubs yesterday. I love that the Brewers beat the
Bellinger? No,
Cubs.
Bellinger's hitting all right. He's in 253 with 7 bombs.
The stat I saw must have been what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, maybe.
His last 29 at bats, 207 with a 233 on base percentage, 241 slug. No homers. He has no homers in his last 15 games. And 4 RBIs.
All right, he's slumping.
Yeah, you would say so.
That's a little bit of a slump.
He did go 2 for 4 yesterday against a tough lefty too. But they're just look at their lineup. 260, 250, 250, 190. They're just not going to put up runs with that. Dansby Swanson is hitting 200 with a 600 OPS. Ian Happ's hitting 220, 680. I mean,
yep.
The thing is with them, they go through hitting coaches like no other. They've been through so many hitting coaches.
They do. Them, and I feel like the is it the Mets or the Nats? I'm thinking of just plow through them. That Christopher Morel guy, I thought he was having a killer year. He's only hitting $198. Because I feel like I see him on every highlight reel.
When Chicago heats up, with Wrigley heats up, the winds start blowing out. Maybe it'll change.
Yeah.
But I mean, still goes 7, gives up no earned runs, 8 punches, and you lose 5-1. That's tough. So they're slipping. The standings. Look at that. Milwaukee's not like this. See, they've scored the most runs in that division, and they've given up the least amount of runs in that division. So, but I feel like St. Louis is coming. St. Louis is creeping back to 500. I feel like that's a team you just don't want to let it get hot.
Yeah. Oh, well, because Goldschmidt, dude, is on one right now.
Yeah, he hit 2 homers.
Tearing the cover out the ball. 2 homers the other day, followed up with another homer.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He's coming back to life. So that's I bet our boy Daniel is just like, thank you.
All he had to do was come on the show, and Goldschmidt starts coming back. All he had to do was get on here.
Yeah, you got any guys struggling? Just get him on the show.
Yeah, I think Scherzer almost threw a no-hitter after he was on our show.
Is that right? I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even Lance Lynn went 6 innings yesterday, 1 earned run. I mean, I didn't think Lance Lynn was going to do very good, but man, he's got a 3.4 ERA and he's eating innings. 57 innings already.
And they need that too. That's what's going to keep them afloat, is that starting pitching, which was the issue last year, but they answered all those. Is Miles throwing better? Let's see. Not really.
Not really. I don't mean Miles is. He's your friend.
Sonny Gray, though, still on tear. Love seeing that.
Sonny Gray's grows. Arenado is still. Anyways, if that team heats up, they're still my pick for that.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope they do heat up. Their bullpen ERA could be a little bit better. They're at 4.19, but they got their guy in the back end they know if you get the 9th inning, it's going to be a done deal.
Yeah, it always feels better when you got a guy. But let's move to the West. The Dodgers, 5 in a row they've lost.
Yeah, I think they do that to mess with people, though.
They do that. Then they go win like 16 in a row.
Exactly. They're like, hey, we're
starting pitching is just they're starting pitching, and we talked about this earlier in the year. Like, they're not going to be anything amazing.
No, they're going to slug their way to wins.
They got swept by the Reds. And then yesterday, they got rained out in the Mets. Here they go. They got a shot against the Mets. Let's go. They got 2 today. Glasnow and Stone. You got to get 1, especially against Quintana.
Mm-hmm.
Today's the day. Today's the day you're walking in. We're getting 1.
Yeah, Q's having a rough start to the year. He's had a nice couple of years since our time with the Cubs with him. When
he's very hot and cold. Like, he's throwing up in the zone more.
Yeah, that's because they want him to. They throw that 2-seam up in the zone. It's kind of weird, but it worked for him for a little bit. But
yeah.
And then James.
We got the Giants. The Giants are hot. 8 out of their last 10. And they're winning late too. So it's always confident when you know that like you can win in a 8th, 9th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I was watching, I don't know if we talked about it. Last week, the Pirates. The Pirates are winning, beating the Giants. They're up 4. and apparently Chapman and Bednar were available, but they bring in this guy in the 8th. It went single, homer, and they're like bad counts, and these singles are rockets. And then they let him stay in for a double and 2 more singles, and then they bring in Chapman. By this time, they're already losing now 6-5. Chapman goes punchy, Bednar goes a scoreless night. How in the world do you let that guy stay in for that many hitters when you had a 4-run lead and those guys were actually available?
Well, I'll tell you, they probably don't trust Chapman.
They probably don't trust Chapman. But after I just seen single, homer, double, after single, I have somebody up. After the homer, I will really want to get you out. After the double, you're definitely out.
When was this?
This was last week. I was getting a haircut, so that had to have been Thursday.
Against San Fran?
Thursday's box score.
Yeah, going there right now.
This was terrible bullpen management. Terrible. The guy literally lost the game.
Stratton. Yeah.
5 hits, 5 earned runs.
Prior to that, though, he was killing it.
Okay, but that day, it's showing you it's not working. Get him out of the game while you had a lead.
Yeah. Holy cow, dude! Bednar has a 7.
He let him stay in to face all the righties. I don't care what the analytics says. Don't let him stay. And then as soon as the lefty came up, Chapman's in the game. Like, that was stupid.
Yeah. How does Bednar have a 7 ERA?
It's baseball, man. It's hard to be good every year.
Wow.
He only has a 1.3 whip, so he probably had some blow-ups.
Yeah. Good point. Yep.
You know how it is for a reliever. One bad game, it takes you 2 months to get it back.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, here we go. He had a 4-spot, a 3-spot, and a 3-spot.
Everything else has been lightning.
All in April. But he still gives up 1 here and there. Every 3 or 4 games, he gives up a 1. But anyways, you literally just... It was a good game. It was what's the kid's name? Skeens?
Mm-hmm.
He started that game, so the city's going to feel good about. Organization's going to feel good about this win. 6-2. You got to get that win. You can't lose that. You can't lose that game.
That's tough.
By the way, Skeens, what do you got on that?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's stupid. He's gonna be a sight to behold. I just hope he can stay healthy.
I don't know if that arm action and that much torque. Well, he's gonna have Tommy John. I say in the next 2 years, and after that he'll be fine. But it's like with that low arm, I don't know, just the way he throws it. But the dude's a massive human, so maybe it'll hold up.
It looks effortless though. Like he's so strong when he gets down the mound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah,
it's good to see. It's good. I mean, good for them.
Yep.
I wonder how fun that would be to get on the mound and be that big and have that in the tank.
Just dominate guys whenever you wanted.
Oh, and you're just a massive human, and you just walk out there and just throw 103 by him, and then throw a 94 an hour slinker or whatever the heck he calls it.
Whatever you call it. Unbelievable.
So anyways.
All right.
You wanted to talk about the Connect jerseys. You wanted to rate those.
Yeah, give me your top 3 just right as we get off here. I want to know what your top 3 are.
I will go Philly, San Diego, Texas. I like Texas.
Ooh. I was going to go Miami, Texas, San Diego. But with an honorable mention, Detroit. I don't know why. I think they actually oh, you know what? I take it back. Time out. The White Sox number 1, Miami number 2, San Diego number 3. The White Sox. Because here's the thing. Well, because dude, when those City Connect jerseys came out, I'm like, that's Southside Chicago. Like that's what I would expect. Some of these other jerseys is like, that doesn't make any sense. Detroit makes sense to me with the tire tracks and Motor City and stuff. The hats are brutal, but that's why I didn't put them in the top 3. But one of the comments I saw was, they got tire treads on them because they keep getting run over by the rest of the league.
That's great.
But I get it though. It looks like a Motor City jersey. I mean, it's a softball uni, but I say honorable mention them in Colorado.
All right, we're gonna have our Aiden, our editor, I guess. We'll have him do it on Instagram. Get a little poll, our ratings.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then on top of that, Jesse Chavez texted me back. I have his number. It's the same since high school, he said. And so I'm gonna hit him up, see if he can get on next week.
Yeah, that'd be great. Bunch of 40-year-olds talking about how great that 40-year-old's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, can't wait to hear it.
All right, man.
All right,
All
have
right.
a
Well,
good one.
thanks you guys for listening. We need to follow, subscribe if you haven't followed, subscribed yet. Otherwise, we will talk to you guys next week.